My name is Paige Filliater, and I am from Marion, Ohio, small town outside of Columbus. And I own Fred Darling Studio. It's a creative marketing studio, so social media marketing, copywriting, and things like that.
Great stuff. So before we get into any of the stuff about your last 90 days and the program, would love to know about just your past, like other businesses that you might have been, just your background, and how you ended up getting to where you are today.
Okay. So this is my very first business. I was pre-law, and I was working at a law firm, and I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. So I always tell people, if you think you want to be a lawyer, work at a law firm.
Yeah.
And my heart was so big, and I just wanted to take every client home, and it wasn't for me. And I started blogging about it. I had to find like a happy place in all of that. So I started blogging,
and how many years ago was this?
2.
Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I started blogging, and people really resonated with my writing. They felt like I was connecting with them, and I was getting a lot of people asking if they could work with me, advertising on the blogs and things like that through social media.
Yeah.
So it kind of just turned into, I live in a small town, all these businesses, none of them are on social media. All of them need to grow their business.
Yeah.
So I just started a social media marketing agency, and it just has evolved into creative marketing, speaking engagements. I just started working with our economic developer here in Marion to grow the economy. So it's just snowballing.
Awesome. So where were you in your business back at the end of 2014 when you were when this kind of program passed in front of your lens?
Okay. I had about 5 or 6 clients that had been with me for a year, and I was just like floating. I wasn't growing. I didn't know what the next step was. I just knew I had to do something because these are the 6 clients I had, and nothing was happening.
Okay.
So I was just really stuck.
And when you say nothing was happening, like there was no traction on the growth of the business, or was no traction in your marketing? Like what was that?
Which is hysterical because there was no traction in my marketing. I'm a marketing agency.
Yeah.
I was so busy working on my clients. I just didn't know what it was about me or my business that attracted people. So I really had to figure out my edge. And then I had to really focus on one thing at a time.
Okay.
And I needed strategies and structure, and nothing I was learning from anybody else was giving me that. They were just giving me very big picture, which is, I love big picture. But at this point, I needed details. I needed to know where I was going next or what to do to get to where I wanted to be.
Sure. Okay. So you saw some videos online, and what happened? Like what clicked for you there?
So those videos were amazing because I didn't expect to get so much context. People are like, talk. They tell you about what they're going to do for you. Yeah. And you were giving it in those videos. You were telling us there are things that we could apply to our business immediately to see changes. And your attitude, just like your demeanor, you weren't taking any crap from anybody, and you were just like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you ended up signing up for the program, and I'd love to hear like what your experience has been like over the last 90 days.
Well, I started the program, and immediately I saw a return on my initial investment. So I did the payment plan, and I saw like a 1,000 return on my investment. I got like 3 or 4 new clients immediately, and that was in December, and into January, and then the end of January, things were picking up. And end of January, I found out I was pregnant.
Wow! Congratulations!
I
didn't know that.
Thank you. Things slowed down again because I was exhausted. So actually, everything you taught us up until then, the entrepreneur scorecard and the time management came into play because I was having to sleep 16 hours a day.
Sure.
And I have this small of a window to get all of this stuff done with very limited energy.
Yeah. So
since then, it's not where I had originally thought it was going to be in January.
Yeah.
But it is grown. My revenue in 1 year was like $16,700 last year. Yeah. And I've made $8,000 just this quarter. So half of my whole entire year's revenue last year I've already made in this quarter at 60%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, I know. I mean, after being a dad to 2 little ones, that we've gone through the. Well, my wife has more than I have, obviously. Just in the last couple of years, I know what that experience is like for someone. So,
it's exhausting.
Any other kind of? Were there any surprises that you had with the program that you were just unsuspect, like you didn't suspect it at all?
I didn't expect to see the return on the investment that quickly. I didn't expect the community. Mm-hmm. You join or you do these programs, and most of them have a community.
Yeah.
But this one was different. It was very genuine. Everybody really just wanted to help everybody else.
Yeah.
You were very present,
mm-hmm.
and it was not self-promotional at all from you or from anybody else, because you can join these groups and people just want to talk about what they do all day long.
Yeah.
And it was just unlike anything, and we're also invested in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And helping each other still.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one thing that I've liked to see from the sidelines, watching, just some of the action in the community, and when I say sidelines, just like seeing some of the great things that have happened, is just a bunch of the connections and friends, like true friends that have come out of it. I mean, there was, one of the ladies in the program, she was in New York, and like 9 of them took her out for like a bachelorette night because she's
Laura.
Mm-hmm. She's getting married in the next little while. So I mean, that's really cool. So anything else that was a nice surprise that you've had in the last 90 days?
The last 90 days. Well, unpacking the last 90 days and seeing that even though I was at 60% physically, I still, with everything that you taught us, still made huge traction and huge changes. I mean, I can't imagine there's anybody in this program that, if they didn't put, as much as they could into it, didn't get a huge return.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem possible to me because of everything that you teach us.
And so when you take a look at your next 90 days, mm-hmm. what are you excited about? Like, what are you excited about for your business?
Well, I'm excited that I finally wrote my course. So that was the plan for the first 90 days, and then I had to focus on building the business to do the course and the baby, provide for the baby. So I finally wrote it down, so I'm very excited about launching this course. I'm excited about having my energy back, and I'm excited about just the ideas that are going to come. Right now it's about growing my community, mm-hmm. and it's about launching this course and helping other people.
Okay. And who are you looking to serve with your new course?
Okay, so it's women specifically, who know they want to start a business, but they don't really know where to begin even with the idea forming.
Okay.
So going into external clues, internal clues, going through the marketing filter. Is this audience going to be right?
Yeah.
Are they even going to can they buy it? Do they want to buy it?
Yeah.
Things like that. And then going into messaging, branding, social media, and then their exit plan.
Yeah.
Getting their exit plan out of their 9 to 5.
Cool. When you think about the program itself, and is there any is there 3 words that would come up for you, like how you would describe it or myself or?
Yeah. Definitely metamorphic, 100%. Drive, and then elite. Personally, I felt like everybody that was in this group and you were elite. Just a whole different class of people, whole different class of business owners. Everybody wanted to grow and they were willing to work. Yeah,
it's been fun to see. Anything that you'd add that I haven't asked the right question to get it out of you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just wanted to thank you. Thank you, Melanie, Devin, and everything you've given us. My husband's starting a business, and, my business is going to have to be the breadwinner for a little bit, and the fact that I can do that is huge, and that's huge for the baby and the family we're starting. So
yeah. So, and did he feel comfortable then to go start a business because of this this change that you've been experiencing?
I think he has. I think he saw that he's been here since day one. I mean, since the law firm, and he was always very realistic. Like, we can't afford this. You can't do this. But he was always very supportive of me.
Yeah.
You go and do this and figure yourself out and what you need to do. And then, he sees me in control of my life and building this business and making money doing something I love. And he wants a little piece of that pie.
Yeah.
So he feels more comfortable because he sees that the business is growing and that, he's able to do that. He still works part-time at night, bridging, obviously, the business into full-time, but I don't see why it wouldn't happen in the next 90 days.
And so, like, have you had any sort of feedback from even just friends or business acquaintances, family members on shifts they've seen in how you operate personally?
Yeah, I'm more, I guess they feel more like it's a legit business now. I mean, people, it's very, like I said, it was 6 clients for a year. My parents are like, okay, are you going to grow?
Yeah.
And so, obviously working with the economic developer in my city, it's a city of 36,000 people. It's small, but it's not that small.
Yep.
That's huge for them. The community work I'm doing with the business in mind is people can see that what we do. It's getting in front of people. I'm growing, but my personality, 100%. I was miserable at the law firm. I was lost for the whole entire first year, and I'm just a completely different person because of where the business is now. And so is my husband. He's a completely different person.
Great. Because I mean, it's an important question to ask because the experience, some people have said just about how, with your experience with, your husband being able to now be comfortable with going out and starting.
Well, he can see it, finally, because he's a realist, so he's like, oh, this can happen. I can do this. Yeah. Now, we still have to put systems and things in place. He just wants to do the fun stuff and the whole business end of it. But, people can see it. And that's the whole point. I want people to be able to see that they can do this and that it's possible, especially in a town like this where I'm the youngest at every networking event.
Yeah.
I'm the only woman business owner.
Yeah.
So I want people to be able to see that and do it for themselves.
And you've been sleeping for 16 hours a day too.
Yeah.
So that's
I
awesome.
don't know. I looked at those numbers and I was, what? When did that happen? Because I've been literally sleeping for 2 months.
Yeah. All right. So for the next 90 days, let's get you managing your numbers so that it's not such a surprise at the end of the 3 months.
I'm meeting with one of our fellow members next week to forecast for the next 90 days.
Perfect.
Get a plan.
This is great because the thing I care about with my I always talk about being a pro at something, and I mean there's a lot of professional athletes I've worked with who've been amateurs at how they approach things, and then there's a lot of young little amateur athletes that I've worked with that approach things like a pro, and so and same thing goes with being a business owner or a small business owner is there's amateur ways of doing things and pro ways of doing things, and we don't have to try and solve all of them right at once, but just that continuous graduated level of thinking just makes us so much more well-rounded. And then the great thing it does is when opportunities come our way of possibly being an investor of something where we're not actually working inside of it, or maybe we're an advisor to it, we can actually judge businesses just way better because we've got a really full, well-rounded toolkit to put something through.
Absolutely. I was in a meeting, I wanted to tell you this, with the economic developers, and they were in all the different facets of the town, and they were like, we need to figure out our roles and our responsibilities. And I go, yes, you do, and I can help you with that.
As a matter of fact, I have a framework for doing that.
I know. I mean, the thing is, like, what you teach us, it's every business can use it. I can use it in my even my personal life.
Yeah.
The goal setting and the roles and responsibilities and things like that. And it's just, I think it's so important for people to do this program.
Good. That's great. And do you think it's not right for some people, or who do you think it's right for and not?
Oh, I did write that. I had kind of an idea, and it's not right for everybody because I remember at the beginning you had to put the hammer down and say, this is not for everybody. If you expect to have me hold your hand through this, then this isn't for you. And I think there are a lot of people out there that expect you to tell them, give them framework. You give them the framework, but give them references on how to do everything. And that's just not how you learn. I do, and then I ask questions. That's my personality.
Yeah.
And I think those people do pretty well in a program like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's the framework. It's knowing the rules of the game that matters. It's creating the border around the soccer field, and then how you want to go play it. That's up to you. Now there's optimized ways of playing the game, and I'll give people feedback on that stuff. But I'm not going to go and constantly prescribe the how-to to people.
This is exactly how you do it.
Because it's
exhausting. You don't have time.
There's 100 ways to do it too.
For each person. Everybody's different.
Yeah. So that's cool. Well, super appreciate the time you taking out to
Thank you very much. I'm
share
happy
your
to be able to do this.
Thanks, Paige.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.